So I just recently watched a series on Netflix about Spotify, my favorite music streaming app. Spotify was founded by Daniel Ek and his founder and a co-founder. It was founded in 2006. The market capitalization of Spotify now is over 26 billion US dollars with over 4,000 staff. So there's a lot of lessons that you and I can learn from Spotify and how we can apply that to our businesses. So let's go. My name is Paul Fo. Welcome to the channel. If you've not subscribed already, please click on the subscribe button underneath this video and enjoy more content like this. The first lesson I learned in that story, in that series, is that you don't need to figure everything out before you start. Think about it. Spotify was started without, arrangement or licenses from the record labels. And you can't stream somebody's music if you don't have a license from the record label, because the record labels, they own the artist and they own the music. But they had to start. It reminds me of what King Solomon said in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11 from verse 4. He said, if you wait for perfect condition, you will not get anything done. And there are people out there who want to start a business, who have a dream to start something, but they've not started because they want to dot all the I's and cross all the T's before they start. And before you know, that opportunity or that window will pass them by. I think it was Shakespeare that said that there is a tide in the affairs of men that, if taken seriously, will lead to a fortune. So that's the first lesson. The second lesson there that I learned from that is that you've got to do businesses that have a network effect. What is a network effect? A network effect is a situation whereby the strength of a product or a service is tied to the number of people that are using it or sharing it. For example, your phone has a network effect because other people have a phone. All right. The relevance of your phone is because I have a phone and you have a phone and someone else has a phone. So you can relate this to business. The more people that use your product and service, all right, and recommend it to other people, that means that your product has a network effect. In fact, I heard that most VCs, venture capitalists, will not invest in a business until they notice that the business has a network effect. So think about it. If you live in an estate and the plumber comes to you and says, I'm the one that fixes all the houses in the estate, 9 times out of 10, you would use that plumber because that plumber within that context has a network effect. So it is to your advantage if you have distribution at scale in your business. So use that to your advantage, have a network effect. The third point that I learned from that book is that you've got to do marketing activities that don't scale at first. There's a popular article by Paul Graham called "Doing Things That Don't Scale." I think I'm gonna link that article in the show notes. You can check out the show notes underneath this video. So he was talking about people like Airbnb, big companies like Stripe that are over billions and billions and billions of dollars today. That how they started was that they didn't wait for customers to come to them. They went to customers from door to door. That's doing things that don't scale. So for Spotify, they went to university campuses because there's students that like to listen to music a lot. Because if they can get one student to start streaming and listening to the songs, all right, other students will also want to start listening to the song. That was how Paystack actually scaled in Nigeria. Paystack is now owned by Stripe. Stripe bought Paystack for over $200 million. How did I start using Paystack? Because I saw that other people were using Paystack to process all our merchants were using Paystack to process their payment, and I also started using it because Paystack has what they call network effect. So you want to think about it. Does my business have a network effect? You can curate it so that people talk about your business, and that helps you to have network effect. The fourth thing that I learned from that is take design seriously. I love this, and user experience. Let's start with design. Daniel Ek said that in the movie that one of the challenges of music downloading sites prior to Spotify was that their designs were not fine. The sites were very tacky. It took a lot of time for the songs to be downloaded. So that was a window of opportunity for him to strike through. So you want to take design seriously because it's good to have beautiful things. I'm recording this on my iPhone right now. You know, Steve Jobs of blessed memory would say that he wants the phone to be so beautiful that people can lick it. All right, take design seriously, because the eyes buy first before the pocket buy. People like beautiful things. People like things that are novel. That's how the brain works. So you want to invest in your designs, your colors, your images. If you run a website or you do content, you want to go to sites like pexzilla.com, or on Splash. You get really good pictures because people are moved by what they say. I mean, I took time to create this thing because perhaps it may appeal to you and say, okay, this is beautiful. People like beautiful things. And then the fifth lesson there is invest in user experience. Daniel Ek pushed his chief technology officer to ensure that people can download a song in less than how many seconds. Again, he said 200. He said like 200. What did he say again? 200 milliseconds or less. That was huge. That's user, because they want the experience to be great for the user. Because if the user has a great experience, it will skyrocket the network effect. They will recommend you more and more to people. I'm talking to myself as well. We need to invest to ensure that all our users or our customers have a great experience using our product. And then the second to the last point is punch above your weight. I like this point a lot, because when they wanted a lawyer on their team, they went to the biggest law firm in Sweden as at that time and asked a lady called Petra to join their team. And Petra was like, how can I leave one of the most prestigious law firms in Sweden to come and join an unknown, untested startup? But they kept persisting, and then she joined the team. So I learned something, punch above your weight. So I just interviewed Spencer Lodge on my podcast. I'm going to put the link again. He runs a company of over $100 million in Dubai. I told him in the first part of the interview that I punch above my weight by asking him to come on the podcast. I don't have $100 million. By God's grace, I will someday, very soon. But I'm punching above my weight because I want to learn from somebody who has $100 million. And I learned a lot from that interview. The interview is doing so well. It has a lot of comments. You want to check out that interview somewhere around there or underneath this. And then the last part of this is that what you resist persists. They were trying to shut Spotify down, but the more they shut Spotify down, the greater they grew. People also call it the Barbara Streisand effect, that what you try to resist always persists. So I always tell people metaphysically that don't say I don't want to be poor, because you are trying to resist poverty. It tends to persist. Rather, say you want to make XYZ amount of money, you focus on the outcome. So click on the subscribe button if you're enjoying this. I hope you enjoyed this. Smash the subscribe button, drop a comment, watch the video to the end, share this with your friends and family members if you thought this was useful to you. My name is Paul Fo. I'm an international sales coach, TEDx speaker, Forbes Coaches Council member, and God bless you. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the goodies underneath this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Let's go. Boom.